Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. And I'll start with just a couple of announcements. The first thing, summer semester is coming before you know it. And if you're looking for a way to, if you're thinking about careers and that sort of thing, I am holding a conference call Monday, I think it is May 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 9:30 p.m., something like that. I don't remember the time, but I know it is May 24th. So if you want to participate in that call and figure out if you should be enrolling in some of our classes, please let me know. PamPopper@msn.com. The Diet and Lifestyle Intervention course is a great overview course for both health professionals, for people who want to be health professionals, for lay people who just can't get enough nutrition and diet and lifestyle and informed medical decision-making type of information. So lots to think about there. Send me an email if you're interested. I'm teaching the vaccine course, COVID vaccine course on June 14th. That's a Monday night. I think a lot of irresponsible claims are being made, and we can go over all that on the 14th. It's going to be a nice long 3-hour course. Settle down with a cup of tea and get ready to learn a lot of great stuff, okay? And then the Curious About COVID, free for non-members classes are still going on, and we are teaching Lose the COVID 25 and health lessons from COVID. So that's what's going on in our world. And I will have some other things to report tomorrow. I'll talk about that at the end. So what I want to talk about today is change. Humans don't like it, ever. The desire to stay, to try to keep things the same is so incredibly strong. This is a true statistic. Abused children, given the choice, would rather return to the parent or parents who are abusing them than live someplace else that would be safer, even a foster home, group home, whatever. It seems that we're all kind of hardwired to protect the status quo. And there's a name for it, by the way. It's called status quo bias. It causes humans to avoid discomfort associated with making a change, even when the change would probably make things better for the person involved. I read an article this week written by Jay Harrington that talks about this, and he says, quote, status quo bias is pervasive. It's what stops us from pursuing new job opportunities and keeps us in unfulfilling relationships, among other things. We perceive the fear of the unknown, no matter how unlikely the worst case scenario might be, as less tolerable than the insufferable status quo. According to Seneca the Younger, we suffer more in the imagination than in reality. Well, I'm the same way. First, I'm a real routinized person, just so you know. I like routine and I like lists and schedules. These make me feel like I'm more in control of my life. I also like for things to be the same. I've lived in the same house for 32 years. I eat the same things for breakfast every day. My gym workouts have been on Tuesday and Thursday for probably 20 years. You get the picture. Many years ago, I had a neighbor who was just the opposite of me, nothing the same, no routine. I remember when she just decided on the spur of the moment to take her kids on vacation with no planning, and she called me from the road, already gone, to ask me if I would feed the cat and water the plants. Of course, I said yes, and then I wondered, gosh, why can't I be more like her? And the reason is it's just not my nature. Here's what I'm getting at. Most people are not like me. I'm a crazy woman. I'm more regimented than most people are. But most people are probably a little closer to like me than they are my neighbor who did everything in the spur of the moment. And during the last 15 months, I think what we've all been faced with is that very little has stayed the same. We've all been forced to make changes, a lot of them not ones that we wanted to make and against our will, and we've been resistant and we've been unhappy about it. So here we all are in a sea of change. Look at the things that are going on. Changed or severed relationships, changed jobs, groups disbanded, church is no longer serving us, and so on. Lots of changes. And the one thing we can't change right now is that things are changing, if that makes any sense. So here are our choices. We can be angry about it. We can fear the unknown and we can resist the change. We can refuse to make new friends. We can refuse to accept that an adult child has decided to do something that we don't approve of or we think is ill-advised. We can refuse to join a new group. We can refuse to go to a new restaurant that's further away than the one we used to go to that makes us sit in plexiglass. And we can complain about it all of the time. Or here's an alternative view of it. We can think about how things just might be better as a result of all of these changes. And I'll just share with you personally, I've been pretty open about what's going on in my life lately. I used to travel all the time. Speaking at conferences, board meetings, all kinds of things. And I have never in my adult life spent 15, I don't know, maybe it's 16 months now, I lose track of the time, every single night in my home. All right. Now there's some, I was very upset about it in the beginning. Everything's canceled. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. But now I actually have to say, once I got past being mad about it, it's better. And I am not going to go back to the running all over the place that I used to do. And I'm drawing the line even now that things are opening up and that sort of thing about just not being so anxious to go everywhere and be so scattered as I used to be. New friends. I've lost a lot of friends, including some who claim to read the science, who I don't think did much reading of the science. But having said that, it's the way it goes. I have new friends. And some of those new friends are actually much more interesting, much more intelligent, much more well-read. They actually do read the science, by the way. And those are much deeper friendships based on much more commonality. And it's not that I don't care about people, but that's just the reality. Volunteer. I used to volunteer for a lot of things that I'm not part of anymore. I've been excommunicated from some, and some things just went away. And I don't, I don't lightly say that that's all gone. But having said that, now I have Make Americans Free again. I'm wearing my shirt today. And that has given me new purpose. I'm not unhappy. I'm just redirecting of all that energy and activity. Even recreational activities have changed quite a bit. So I think the key to all of it is, first of all, accepting that things are going to be different instead of resisting, enjoying the process of different, seeking something different to replace the things that are gone, and deciding not to be miserable about it all. Misery is a choice, acceptance is a choice, and happiness is a choice. That's where we really do have some control. We can decide how we're going to be every day. And I'm choosing happy. I'm just choosing happy. I'm just not going to be miserable. I refuse to be miserable. Because in a way, I guess, I think if I'm miserable, then they get their way. And that really, really makes me angry. So, and I don't want to be angry. I want to be happy, right? So I'm happy living a different kind of life than I did before. A better life in many ways. And I don't regret any of it. I mean, we still have to do something about it. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, give you a progress report and an update. So you've all heard the serenity prayer, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We're all accepting a lot of things. Some of us are changing a lot of things, not only in our own lives, but in the world, like Make Americans Free again. The important thing is to know the difference. It saves us a lot of grief. But I think that, we need to accept things we cannot change. In other words, a group that is no longer in existence, there's just only so much you can cry about it, and then it's time to move on. A relationship that doesn't exist anymore doesn't serve you. There's just only so much time you can spend on that, and then you have to move on. Well, you don't have to move on, but I'm saying it's better to move on. And so I don't think that people and groups and causes and all this sort of thing are disposable. But the whole world has shifted. My whole world has shifted. And I want to succeed and thrive and be happy. And therefore, I have to change with the changing times. Choose happy. I have. It's better, I think. And I'm inviting you to do the same thing. All right. I put out a newsletter on Monday and videos on Wednesdays and Fridays when I talk about other things. If you're not subscribed to those, then you do need to subscribe. Send me an email at pampopper@msn.com. And if you want to participate in the career conference call, professional development, take our vaccine course. I'm teaching on the 14th. Curious about COVID, free to non-members, lose the COVID-19 and COVID-25 and lessons from COVID. Those are member benefits. And happy hour. Anyway, we had our second happy hour last week, and it really was happy. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So join us for one of our Friday happy hours too. That's all for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I'll be back to you tomorrow with some other kind of news. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.